Hey, this is John Z from SpliffBreaks.com. We're here at Shambhala 2015, and my guest today is a very special man who's accomplished many accolades in the world of DJing and producing. The one and only Skratch Bastid.
What's up, John? How you doing, man?
Good to see you, my friend.
Nice to see you as well.
I'm curious, how important is music festival culture, in your opinion, in today's society? What impact has that had on you as an individual, and where do you see it going in the next 25, 50 years or so?
Wow, that's a little longer range than I think of anything. But people go to the festivals like this to be more open-minded and to get introduced to music and genres and styles. So when I come here, I'm like, it's kind of a clean slate, and I'm looking through Serato, and I'm like, some of those songs that didn't really work in the cities, or maybe I thought wouldn't work. I'm like, I should try that out here and see how it works.
Yeah.
It feels like people approach with a more open mind here. So as a DJ, that inspires me to do that sort of thing. And I think as concert goers, people love festivals because it's good for people. People need a break, and people need to bug out and have fun. And I think that's great. As far as the next 25, 50 years, who knows, man? But one thing I like about Shambhala is that it's sort of remained, no corporate sponsorship, no like app on the phone kind of thing. It's like still pretty like grassroots.
And so that kind of leads into my next question. Do you find that some of these music festivals are expanding from being more than just about a focus on stage, lights, music, you the headliner, and becoming more about a co-creative experience that we're all moving towards?
Yes, yeah, because I think in the world of music creation, I could have a studio in that tent over there. Like the access to software and cheap recording gear is like it's never been easier to take part in it. So I think that that experience of people contributing to it, it's less headliner and crowd, and that gap has sort of shrunken. And I think it's great. I think it's cool to have creators, and being someone that's been DJing for 17 years, it's like, I feel like once people start getting into it, then they say like, hey, how have you been doing it for 17 years? And I'm like, it's cool. This is my path. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Maybe they pick up a little from that, and I learn from them. I'm like, how do you make beats in 5 minutes? Like that takes me, 5 hours. So like, I think it's like a each one teach one experience.
Yeah, exactly. Can you talk about preserving the language of turntablism in vinyl-based DJing and the importance of that language not fading away into extinction, as we progress further and further with technology? Sure.
When we talk about DJing in clubs and stuff, the turntable is really where it started. And so I as much as I enjoy technology in the future, it is important to preserve, the past, but not just for the sake of being a historian, but also because I feel like there's a certain sound that when you're using turntables, they turn a certain way. The feel is ingrained in music, and you still can't scratch comparably on anything yet to turntables. There's nothing like the feel of a 12-inch platter that's got some weight to it, moving with a human hand. It's just like a perfect fit. It's like a glove.
Yeah.
So, as far as the scratching, the sound, it's like as if you changed, the shape of a horn or something. It's different. Like you can hear how your hand moves differently. So I think for that matter, it's important to preserve it because the sound of the scratch is part of DJ culture. Beyond that, I think there's a certain thing about the pace of moving with turntables that's a comfortable pace with digital music. I think with Ableton sets and some things like that, you have stuff that's sort of like predetermined a little bit.
Okay.
And turntables and people that mix live on records, it's like it adds that element of chance and that element of, and not necessarily just turntables, CDJs as well. But I think turntables, you have a lot of beautiful mistakes that happen when you're mixing with turntables.
Yeah.
And it's okay to hear something go a little off and then save it. Like I love that kind of stuff because I think that gives the crowd a chance to be like, oh, that's cool. He's like really doing something up there, and like I'm living this moment right now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that DJs don't do anything, and there's a talk about that. And I constantly feel like I have to wave the flag and defend DJing for what I know it to be, which is a great art form and experience, and something that's changed my life. Precision and practice and dedication.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in and want to apply myself to as many situations where I can prove to people that it is, a life-changing, can be a life-changing experience.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
If someone just gets into something for just this superstar producer performance, that's not really like a DJ experience. So that's where I think that came from.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I think sometimes it's like a little harsh, and like I'm pretty plur about the whole thing. Like I don't want any beef with people who don't think that, because I think that you just got to emanate positivity and to welcome people into what I do, you know, instead of starting to be like, this is real, that's fake. I'm not like, that's fake, but I'm like, this is what I grew up on, and this to me is real DJing. I'm not like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying. I was just thinking, like, I can only imagine somebody who's been, like you said, DJing for 17 years, practicing every single day on something, and then somebody who's a kind of a celebrity kind of comes in and goes like, I can make just as much money as you, if not more, and kind of get a headlining spot without the time-tested patience.
Yeah, and my whole thing about that is like, I do what I do because I want to do it. I'm never bitter because I've chosen to do this, and I'm very lucky to have done it at like the levels that I do it and continue to do it, and to be, so I haven't had a job since I worked at the record store, you know, and that was in 2002. You know, so I've been a DJ professionally for 13 years. I mean, that's fucking awesome. You know, so I'm not bitter about anything. I just like this idea that we continue to preserve what we do, and hashtag real DJing has a smiley next to it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So moving on, how do you plan on continuing to inspire or hope to inspire other people through your music and life?
I just want to show, like, again, it's that positivity thing. Like, I just want to show people that you can be open-minded about music, that you can hear things in different ways, and that music can make you a happier, better person.
Yeah.
And I try to live by example and show people that
you're always smiling. Like, you have the biggest smile on everything that you do.
Yeah,
it really radiates to me.
Yeah, well, I grew up in like a party family. Like, my mother's from Trinidad, and my dad is like a music lover too. So all of our family get-togethers and our gatherings were always like, you know, we'd eat food and then we'd go dance in the living room to like soca music or like disco or something. I don't know. Like, so when you grow up in that kind of environment, I guess that's the only way I know how to do it, really.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
Yeah.
You make it look fun. That's for sure.
Hey, it is.
Thank you so much for your time today, Skratch Bastid. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. I've been following your career for many years. You're one of my favorite DJs on the planet. And he's a Canadian guy, so that's good too. We're here at Shambhala. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you, John. Peace of Spliff Breaks TV.
We out.
We're going raving.